This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
They're sliding up, using racetrack. Starting to go around. That's sure to be a caution.
Saw the green car got turned around. Not exactly sure who that was. The caution flag is going to come out. We'll take a look. Oh, that's the 85 of John Hayden.
Yeah, he was right behind that group. We just caught a glimpse of him right in the center of 1 and 2 get turned around there. I don't know if he had any contact. I'm not sure, but looks like he doesn't have a great deal of damage. You see a little damage to the right front corner. Maybe he got into somebody right in between turn 1 and 2. There went Denny Hamlin. You see him on the inside of David Ruderman. He makes a little bit of contact with Ruderman. As you mentioned, it just pulls the front end to the left and around the back end goes. Fortunately, David Green did a nice job getting around him without making any contact. Lamar getting cautions out. That will allow Bernie Lamar to stay on the lead lap.
And it probably will mean that J.J. Yaley will get the free pass, which J.J. Yaley was actually the second car a lap down. But as you mentioned, Bernie Lamar had such a great start, was able to get in front of our leader, Clint.
6 of Todd Cleaver. It's just really going to be a wad down there getting in turn number 3. And see Todd Cleaver sideways first, and he makes some contact with the 10 of John Andretti, and then Augie Vidovich ran into the 35 of Regan Smith. So all 4 of those cars involved, and you see the damage to the left rear corner of the 063M Ford.
Damage to the front end of the 5 of Kyle Busch. A long road for him to come to have damage in Milwaukee. The AT&T 250 on FX continuing, but we are under our 3rd caution.
Let's see if we can take a look at what happened. There was a big wad of cars running the 5 and the 18. Watch them go down in turn number 1 there. Looked like the 59 of Stacy Compton went high. He got turned a little bit by the 66 of Scott Wimmer. Then the 5 comes along, makes some contact with the 66 of Scott Wimmer. They were all battling for about the 15th spot back.
Let's go back through the field from the top 10. Oh, we've got a caution coming out on the racetrack. 76, Jarek Johnson. And that's Bernie Lamar in the 77.
Yeah, the Kingsford Ford of the 59 of Stacy Compton got a big piece of that too. That's down in turn number 1. Bernie Lamar able to drive away, but a tremendous amount of damage to that Dollar General Chevrolet.
Place.
Here we are. This is right past the start-finish line.
Well, it actually started on the front stretch there. Looked like he got clipped in his right rear and turned him. And boy, at that part of the straightaway, that makes it tough to try to avoid stuff at that speed.
They went up a half a round on the track bar, and they said, we got to get in here. And we know that the 38 just spun out on the racetrack. Yellow comes out. Oh, what will this do to Hamlin?
Well, how about our leader? It was Jason Leffler, who looked as though he was trying to come down pit road. Krista, what's going on?
You guys will not believe this. That's exactly what he was trying to do. This team was ready. They had the fuel cans up on the wall. They were ready to come in right there. He had not been running the quickest lap times. He needed those 4 fresh tires and a slight adjustment. He spins out trying to get to pit road. The team has their arms up in disbelief. They cannot believe that the leader just spun.
Happening here. There's Jason Leffler right there. There's John Andretti. He had just put John a lap down. Jason's going to try to get low to try to get to the pits here. He knows he's going a little too hot. He locks up the rear brakes. He makes the slightest bit of contact. Maybe that didn't even touch the inside wall, but what an incredible turn of events here. We had our 2nd place car, Denny Hamlin on pit road. Our leader trying to get to pit road and spins out trying to get slick.
Just Denny Hamlin, who's on the tail end of the lead lap in front. Yellow flag.
Problems in turns 1 and 2. We see Ron Hornaday in the 33 spun around. A lot of smoke.
That puts Denny Hamlin right back on the lead lap. But Johnny, as you mentioned, he's going to restart this race about 20th. We're inside of 40 laps to go. He's out of contention to win this race. There's no way with as good a cars are in front of him, he's going to pass all those cars. But he does have a shot to certainly improve his position.
He does, and as good as this car is, he needed that break right now. He about 80 or 90 laps to get to the front.
There's the 33 of Ron Hornaday. He's already sideways. The 88 of Mark McFarland goes by on the outside. Car's going left and right. It doesn't appear as though anybody made contact. We're not sure exactly what Clint for him. Remember, he had the lead. He spun out, caused the caution. There's David Green. He's right behind the 38 of Jason Leffler. We haven't talked a whole lot about him in the Kleenex corner. Oh, right behind him.
That was David Green that actually got into the 41, it looked like, of David Stremian. So Green had problems, as you were talking about him, got into David Stremian. This causes our 7th caution.
He got loose, Johnny, going in turn number 3. He got sideways, collected David Stremian, put David in the outside wall, brings out the caution flag. What a horrible break for David Green, but it was a situation where he got sideways on his own, made some contact. You see the damage to the rear of his car. Look right at your screen. You see David ran across the rumble strips, got a little bit loose, had to chase his car off the hill. When he did, David Stremian was there. He made contact with him, turned him around, and both of those cars turned out into the outside wall.
That was a case of just, you know, some pretty hard racing. There wasn't a lot of room. They looked like they were off the
Delco Chevrolet.
As you see, Kevin Harvick.
Problems. Look at that. Steve Wallace got way high out of the groove.
He's got a flat left rear tire. I think when Kevin went up there and hit him, I think he's a little mad that he was there. Goes up there, bangs in the side of him, takes a left rear tire right off Steve Wallace.
And it's starting to disintegrate.
Starting to come apart. NASCAR's looking at that. That may bring out the caution flag.
I believe that tire just
trouble right in front of him.
And we got problems in 3 and 4 also.
The 36 of Tim Sauter gets turned around.
As you said, Paul Menard did not want to see this caution.
Watch Kevin Harvick right here.
This could have been how Steve Wallace has problems with his left rear.
See if there he makes the contact right there. It doesn't take a whole lot. He may have knocked the valve stem out of that tire.
Yeah, the exhaust pipes stick out just a little bit there. When you go up there and bump into somebody, you know, the body gives, but the exhaust doesn't. Now looking, but the problem comes when everybody gets just bound up just right here a little bit. Tim Sauter gets turned around. It looks like that's about the only thing that happens right there. Just a little bit of damage, not bad.
Yeah. A little bit over a second and 2/10 ahead of Kevin Harvick.
The caution flag comes out now. Problems in turn 2. Looks like Stephen Light might be one of the cars, and Steve Wallace.
And it looks like Stephen Light wasn't too happy with him, so it'd be interesting to maybe get a replay and see what happened here.
The restart. 7 laps of racing to go. Paul Menard tries to hold off Kevin Harvick as they go through 1 and 2.
Looked like Harvick definitely tried to get on his bumper and tried to free him up.
Problem, Aaron Crocker right at the start-finish line. That will bring the caution out one more time. 10th caution of the night now.
Paul Menard is going to have to do it again. He's going to have another restart. And I think that's his most vulnerable time, Johnny, is right on the restart.
Right on the restart there, but he just learned something on that one. He's just got to apply it. Very interesting to see what happens. As we see the incident here with Aaron Crocker here, they start to go. It looks like some people check up, and she just got bumped by Todd Cleaver and just turned her right in the outside wall. And this happens so fast. I mean, it doesn't. You think, well, how come they just did when he doesn't want to knock him out of the lead, but he'll take air off him and do what he has to do.
Here we go. Paul Menard, Kevin Harvick all over the bumper. He goes to the inside right as they cross the start-finish line. 3 laps of racing to go.
He's against him. He's right against him. He's still against him. He's turning him sideways. He gets turned around.
Kevin Harvick. Harvick spins around. He had J.J. Yaley all over the back bumper. Harvick spins around, and now melee on the backstretch.
This looks like this about took out the whole top 4 or 5 of the field here, and I think what you saw there was he did exactly what I thought he wouldn't do, was try to knock him out of the way. J.J. Yaley saw that same opportunity, went up and spun Harvick out. It's going to be really, really interesting here. Now, you know, I knew that Harvick was going to be on his bumper there, trying to take the air off. I really didn't think he'd start beating and hitting him and trying to knock him out of the groove. Yeah, he did a little bit of block here. You expect that with 5 to go. But here the first one, well, he shouldn't have probably done that. The second one,
he's probably in there.
Yeah, well, underneath him,
completely underneath him. Not beside him, no. Completely underneath him. Exactly, and then a lot of damage there. 59.
This is it. 2 laps of racing from the Milwaukee Mile Busch Series, 17th race of the season, and it comes down to this.
Same thing applies here. How Paul Menard gets off turn number 2. What happens between now and turn number 2 may determine who wins this race.
Paul Menard will lead the field. J.J. Yaley right behind him. Denny Hamlin, Jason Leffler, Stacy Compton, your top 5. Here we go. 2 laps of racing. J.J. Yaley looks to the inside of Paul Menard.
I'm not sure Paul Menard didn't miss a gear. Look at Denny Hamlin on the have a little bit over 1 lap to go to catch Paul Menard.
Coming out of turn number 4, it is the 11 of Paul Menard, then the 20 of Denny Hamlin. Paul Menard, 1 mile away from his first win.
This is where it gets nerve-wracking. You got to make sure to hit your marks. You know you got a guy behind you that's got a fast race car. Paul knows he's got a fast race car, but he still has to hit his marks. No mistakes. He's proud to get around here. He can get his first victory here in Milwaukee. I'm sure he's pretty excited.
Working his way through turns 3 and 4. Coming out of turn number 4, the Wisconsin native will see the checkered flag and win the AT&T 250.
What an awesome job by the entire DEI team. Paul Menard, the Menard Chevrolet. Look at those guys. You think they're happy?
How about the fans here in Wisconsin? What a great race they saw in the NASCAR Busch Series.
They were all on their feet cheering their hometown guy all the way across, and I know that he's got just such a great feeling. You know, I lived through this just a week ago. He's got the best feeling in the world going down that backstretch right now.
Took him 85 starts to claim his first win, but he does become the 4th different driver to claim his first win in the 2006 season. You just heard Ray Dunlap letting the guys know, hey, you got to get to victory lane.
Saw a great shot there of Denny Hamlin's crew coming over to congratulate Paul Menard's crew. There's Kevin Harvick right there.
I believe that's congratulations, right?
Well, I'm not sure. He's, you know, you can't be too mad about Harvick's one that ran into him.
Yeah. If Harvick could be mad with Boyer if he wanted, I mean, with J.J. Yaley. J.J. Yaley's the one that got in the back of Kevin Harvick. But I tell you, I don't think so. I think Kevin Harvick knows what happened. He knows that Paul Menard was trying to win the race. Harvick did what he had to do. Paul Menard did what he had to do. It didn't work out this time for Harvick. It did for that guy.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.